What up YouTube, it's your boy Double M and I'm coming back at you with another video. Here's the gist, right? Say you want to start drawing. There's something that recently influenced you to start drawing. A friend or a cousin's art or an artist's work that recently influenced. You are trying to learn how to draw, but you don't know where to start. Nowadays, YouTube is filled with so many tutorials, teaching you so many things to do, teaching you so many things to keep in mind, teaching you so many, and it's just too much. But don't even worry about it. That's why I'm here. I'm gonna be here to give you a little guidance, a little push into the direction you should take when you're starting to draw. Like I said before, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a few guidelines on what to do when you're starting to draw. Whether it's your complete first time or you haven't been drawing in a minute and you feel like you've forgotten a few things, I'm going to show you what to do so you can properly start learning how to draw without feeling too overwhelmed, you know. After watching this video, I have two other videos which you should watch to help you further in learning how to draw. I have my own tutorials here specifically showing you how to draw specific things, but these two videos that you should watch after watching this video should give you a set of guidelines, how to think and what to do when starting to learn how to draw. And in the future, I will have more videos that are giving more of these art guidelines, you know, how to find your art style, how to improve your art style, all these type of videos that give the guidelines on drawing itself. I will have more of them. But for now, you're learning how to draw, you're starting to learn how to draw. I want you to focus on these three videos, this ones and the other two that I mentioned, then you can focus on other tutorials. Now, as I'm giving you these art guidelines, in the back, I'll have some time-lapse designs of Chase Coney's new Spider-Man design, so that you aren't completely bored, or so that you have at least something to look at as you listen to these guidelines. Or you could even listen to these guidelines as you do something else, have this video playing in the back. Just make sure that you listen to these guidelines and make sure that you also go watch those other two videos that I requested. Now, before we get started, I need you guys to do a few things. First, I need you guys to drop a like and I need you to hit that subscribe button to join the Double Empire. I'm trying to build a community up, you know, get it to 400 subscribers. So I would appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button and share this video and channel to others to hit the subscribe button as well to join the Double Empire, become part of the community, get these tutorials, art challenges, videos like these with giving the art guidelines, everything. Hit that subscribe button to join the Double Empire. Alright? Okay, so you want to start learning how to draw, but you don't necessarily know what to do and where to start. There's one thing I want to ask you before you start. What art style are you trying to incorporate? You know, how the art that influenced you to start, or how the art that you like looks, you know? Because if you look around you now, not all art looks the same. There are different art styles that go with it. For example, animated media and television. Let's say Loud House will have its own art style. Let's say Avatar will have its own art style. Comics will have their own art style. And it's good to know a majority of these art styles and which ones you're trying to incorporate and which ones are sort of similar, you know, that cartoony art style, you know, that semi-realistic art style, that graphic novel art style, or even that anime art style. And if you don't really know, but you have an idea of a certain art style or a certain group of art styles that you would try to incorporate, that you're trying to learn how to draw, that's good. We can still work from there. But it really helps if you know what type of art style that you are trying to incorporate. This art style that you see in front of you right here is more of a fusion between anime and graphic novel type of art style, you know. If you think about it, it does look mainly like an anime style, but there are some things that I like to incorporate from the graphic novel, from the comic side, from the comic art style inside this art style, you know, to give it that blend that you're supposed to have. But don't worry, in the future I will help you in mixing these different art styles. But for now, just pick a general art style that you're trying to incorporate, a general art style that piques your interest, and throw yourself into those tutorials of that art style. When I say tutorials, I mean the first of two steps you should take when you're starting to draw. Tutorials in that art style that you like, you know. Pick any tutorial, any simple tutorial, how to draw the eyes in a cartoony art style, how to draw the nose in a comic art style, how to draw open mouth expressions in an anime art style. Go on YouTube, search for these type of tutorials in the art style that you're trying to incorporate, and follow that tutorial. Now, you've picked your tutorial, how to draw the eyes, whatever it is, how to draw the face, whatever it is. You want to pick that tutorial. Keep it as simple as you can when you're starting out. It's important to pick out a simple tutorial to follow when you're starting out. So you picked out your tutorial. Now what you have to do is repeat that tutorial until you have fully memorized the steps and know what to do without the tutorial's help. A tip I want to give you on following these tutorials until you memorize them completely: watch that same tutorial learning how to draw that same thing, that same body part, whatever it is, but from many different artists. You see, the thing that comes with following one artist, right? You subconsciously start to replicate their own art style, which is not good. You will be no different from the artist that you are watching if it's just one artist that you're watching. You want to watch different artists so you understand what works here and what works there. A wider range of what to do and what not to do. What one artist does here and what one artist does there. You see, the good thing I like about this step is when you follow different artists, you subconsciously start to form your own art style. Don't worry, in the future, like I said before, I will have a video focusing more on the art style, how to find it and how to improve it if you already found it. But yeah, you subconsciously start to form your own art style because you learn from different art perspectives and different artists what works for them, what doesn't work for them. And in that action of repeating these tutorials, you also start to learn what works for you and doesn't work for you, So remember, as you pick out these tutorials and following them until you fully memorize them, make sure that you pick tutorials from many different artists. Oh, and make sure all the artists fall under the art style that you're trying to incorporate, or at least similar art style that you're trying to incorporate, Now, the next thing to do is to draw whatever you learned how to draw in the tutorial without the tutorial. Sort of challenging yourself, When you're challenging yourself doing this, be mindful of what goes where. Try to remember the steps to take when drawing this thing that you just learned how to draw in the tutorial. And you want to do this many times. You want to do this multiple times, At least more than 3 times for each artist tutorial that you followed. And after you have drawn whatever you are trying to learn how to draw inside the tutorial, go back to the tutorial and do a little comparison with what you've done and with what the tutorial has done to sort of see what's missing. If you still think that you missed something, go over the tutorial a couple of times, repeating the step 1 and then going back again to repeat the step 2 and do a little comparison. After mastering these 2 steps on learning how to draw whatever it was in that tutorial, it's important to understand that these 2 steps should be taken when you're learning almost anything from any tutorial. Okay, so let's say for example, you're trying to learn how to draw eyes in the anime art style. So step 1, tutorials in the art style. What you want to do is go on YouTube and grab as many tutorials, I say minimum 4 to 5 tutorials from different artists, teaching you how to draw eyes in the anime art style, and follow each tutorial. So after following the tutorial until you've memorized the tutorial, what you want to do is step 2, drawing the anime eyes a couple of times without the tutorial. After you've drawn the anime eyes a couple of times without the tutorial, go back to the tutorial and make a comparison. See what you can still change. See what you think is still missing. If you think something is still missing, follow the tutorial a couple of times, follow the steps again. And if you think something is not missing anymore, if you think you've hit it spot on, then you've sort of, I don't want to say mastered, but you get the gist to drawing anime eyes. You see, what I personally like about these 2 steps is after you've picked whatever you want to learn in whatever art style it is, the eyes in anime art style, the feet in the comic, whatever it is, these 2 steps sort of give you an idea of what you want to draw next. Because after following the tutorial, following these steps, even while you're following these steps, following the tutorial, you should get an idea of what you want to draw next. So after you've drawn the eyes, you want to learn how to draw the nose, you want to learn how to draw the head. With these 2 steps, after completing whatever you wanted to learn how to draw with these 2 steps, it should give you an idea of what you want to draw next. This action also helps with choosing what type of art style that you're trying to learn. Following these different tutorials, you sort of get a taste of what you like and what you don't like, especially for those that weren't really adamant on what art style they were trying to learn how to draw. This action makes things more precise, makes the choice more precise on what art style that you're trying to draw. So, if you have a certain art style that you're trying to incorporate, you pick a tutorial in that art style and you follow these steps, you don't need to worry anymore because you've already started drawing, you've already started learning how to draw. And with that, we have come to the end of the video. I want to thank you for making it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed the video, remember, drop a like and hit that subscribe button to join the Double Empire. Don't forget to make your way to the other videos that I said you should watch after watching this video. And if this is the art style that you're trying to learn how to draw into, or at least close to the art style that you're trying to learn how to draw into, I have tutorials on how to draw these certain different things. So don't be shy, make your way through these tutorials, If you're trying to see more of my art, I suggest hitting up my Instagram and my Twitter. The links are down in the description. God bless, and until next time, Double M out.